Hey Mozart, and welcome back. So over the next 2 weeks or so, I'm going to be making a series of 4 tutorials about the circuit tracks. So the first one, this video, is going to be a quick start guide to just get straight into making your first beat. And then I'm going to make a more in-depth tutorial that basically runs through everything the device has to offer. The third video will be a list of tips I've discovered that aren't included in the manual for some reason, so you have to dig through and spend some time with it in order to discover them. And then the fourth video is going to be a tutorial for components, which is Novation software for loading synth patches, samples, and projects onto the circuit tracks. So, here we have the device. Firstly, if you double tap the projects button or shift press it, you get to the packs menu, which you can tell because it goes orange and the text above it says packs. Each pack is basically one machine state. It includes the 128 synth patches, the 64 samples, and the 64 projects you have. So the first one, which I have selected here, is the factory content. So the stuff that it comes with. Everyone gets this when they get a circuit tracks. If you want to load up a new one, you just press it and press the play button, but that takes time, so I'm not going to do it now. So then if you press projects once, you get into your projects. So in the default one, you have 16 demo projects, which are just to show off what the circuit tracks can do. This one's a bit weird. Anyway, you can listen to those to get some ideas for what you could write. And then as you can see, I've got 5 projects here. So then we can come down here into the next page, and you've got more empty projects. I'm just going to use this one, but you can totally use these ones or even get rid of these ones. If you want to clear a project, you just select it and press clear the project. So you can clear one of these ones and start again. But you have all this space, so you might as well use the empty ones. So then, once you select the project, there's no home page on the circuit tracks, but I always find myself coming back to the mixer when I'm just sitting here and jamming because, you know, it gives you access to the most important things for the overall track. So, let's start with drums. You have 4 drum tracks. They're each monophonic, which means if we go to like a cymbal and then we have like a hi-hat, when I press the hi-hat, it cuts off the cymbal, so it can only play one sample at a time. So although that's a limitation, it allows you to do this sample choking thing, which can be useful for open hi-hats. So let's pick a kick drum and just sequence a 4 on the floor beat. So as you can see, this white light is the currently playing note, and it goes through the entire sequence. So you can change some parameters of the sample up the top. So the first one controls the pitch. The second one controls the decay, so you can make it nice and snappy. Then you have distortion, and then a simple EQ, so you can accent the high or low elements of the sound. Then let's add a snare. And then we can add some hi-hats. That's a pretty good rhythm. So we can turn on record. And as you can see, it added an extra note here. I don't know why, but we can get rid of it by just turning it off. So, as you can see, these ones are blue when we just press them in. And if we press in another one, it will be blue. So why are these ones pink? Well, the thing is, just because each track can only play one sample at a time, you can still play multiple samples on it. So as you can see, it has that open one here. So, how do we do that? Well, if you press and hold one, it will turn red, and then you can put it in sample lock mode, which means that even if I put it on a completely different sample down here to make that the default one, these notes are still locked to the sample I selected. And you can do that by either pressing and holding them or by recording it in. So now we could add something on the 4th track, but we don't really need to yet. So then let's get into the synth tracks. You have the preset menu here, which is how you go through all the different presets, and there are 4 pages here indicated by the brightness of the arrows, and you can scroll through all the pages and you have 2 tracks to put melodic elements on. Let's just pick a preset. I think that's pretty good. So you have these 8 knobs up here, which can be used to control different aspects of the synth. So they're labeled, but the person who designed the synthesizer patch can make the knobs do whatever they want, but the labels are supposed to sort of guide what they should do by default. And the factory content ones follow the labels very well, but if you download packs from online, they might not necessarily follow them. This patch is monophonic, so it can also only play one note at a time, which is often used for basses or leads, so we can come up with a lead line. Okay, I like that. So, as you can see, this button says 1 to 16 and 17 to 32. So, if you turn it on, it goes to blue or orange, and that turns the pattern into being twice as long. Let's just say we get rid of that by pressing clear and then the button. If we try and record something in, it loops here, but we need an extra bar to finish the pattern we came up with. So you press this, now we can finish off the whole thing. Perfect. So now we can do a little bit of mixing. So if you go into the mixer, there are 2 mixing controls available. So firstly, you can control the volume of different elements. I think that's pretty good. And then you can press the down arrow to control the panning. So obviously that's extreme, but you can control it. You can do some little things to sort of just add some nuance to your mix. So then we can come up with a bass line real quick. So we got this. So we've covered the drums, the synths, the mixer. There's also these MIDI tracks which you can use to control external gear and then bring the audio from that back in and control it with the mixer. But I'll probably mention that in the next video. Then you have patterns. So what's a pattern? Well, let's just say I select all the bottom patterns. Nothing's playing. But the stuff I recorded went into the top ones. So I can slowly bring elements in by selecting the top row. And as you can see, when I trigger one, it flashes the light for a little bit. So it flashes before it comes in, because it waits to come in on beat. And so you want to start building up song sections, where we can start with just maybe the bass and the kick. And then we go into the mixer, and these are your different scenes. So a scene is a collection of patterns. So then we can save what we had before into a scene, and now, say we select just a random combination of patterns, we press this scene, and it's back to just the kick and the bass. So then we can add in some more elements, maybe add the snare, save a new scene, and then we have this scene which is like the full section. So then you can create more patterns to create a B section for your song, but we're not going to do that here. So, what's next? Well, you have some effects. So, there are 16 different delays and 8 different reverbs. So, let's just simply put a delay on the snare. So you choose which delay you want, and then you use the knob that corresponds to the track to control the intensity of the effect. So as you can hear, that's quite high. And then you can change which delay it is. The other thing is, there's one delay for the entire project. Like, you can control the intensity for each track separately, but each one will have the same delay time, and each one will have the same reverb. Also, you have both delay and reverb, and the color of the light under the knobs tells you which one you're currently controlling. So then let's just add some effects on here. You can use this white button in the corner to bring all the effects in and out at once. So we'll just leave them off for now. So the last thing you're gonna make sure you do is save your project. So you can double tap the save button to save it, and then say you want to save it to a different slot, you go into the projects menu, press save, and select this new slot. So now we have 2 copies of the same project. Like mentioned before, you can hold clear and press it to clear it. But you'll notice when I hold clear, only the currently selected project is available, so I can't clear this project unless I select it first. This is to make sure you don't accidentally clear something you didn't want to. The clear button is used to clear pretty much anything. So if you're in the synths, you can get rid of a note. There's no undo, so be careful. Now I have to put that back. And also in the mixer, you can clear your scenes. The last thing, this knob over here, is the master filter. So it just applies a high pass or low pass filter onto the entire track at once. So you can use this for transitions, like that. There's a lot of applications of it. You can use it to slowly bring the whole song in at the beginning. And then transition into a fuller section. So I think that's pretty much all I want to cover in this video. Basically, just how to get started with the circuit tracks and create your first song with some drums, a melody and a bass line, some simple effects if you like, and also just how to use the mixer. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and you can get started with your circuit tracks and create some awesome songs. Stay tuned for the next couple of videos which will show you how to go more in depth with your device and really get to know it properly. So if you did enjoy or find it helpful, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. If you have any comments, feedback or suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!